I like playing with guys that think the game well. And, I'm not personally a guy that likes to try like the one-on-one stuff and stuff like that. So I'm definitely really happy to play with two guys that know how to play the game the right way. I mean, Hala is so responsible both ways of the ice and definitely a lot of speed up the middle. He's a pass-first mentality, which is fun for a guy that likes to shoot the puck like me. And I mean, Michael, I think it's his heart and his dedication to go to the net, and doing all the little things, the forecheck, the stuff like that. That's sometimes not everybody is always willing to do in the world of hockey, but for him, he knows what makes him successful, and he's going to keep doing those things, and that definitely creates room for a guy like me. So it's been good. We've been playing the right way when we play together, and we've been most likely out of our D zone. So I mean, if that's good, normally the offense can. If you take good care of your defense side, the offense can come a little easier.
Welcome to the Predators official podcast here on the Preds Radio Network, ESPN 1025 The Game, and on YouTube if you're seeing our smiling faces. It's a pleasure to be back with you once again for episode 3 of the new season of the POP. I'm Brooks Bratten of NashvillePredators.com. Pleased to be joined once again by my co-host Max Herz of Predators Radio and Kara Hammer from Preds TV. Friends, plenty to get to in this episode. We just had a great conversation with Jonathan Marchessault. Can't wait to bring you that a little bit later here in the program. Of course, training camp continues. One more preseason game to go as we record this on Thursday afternoon, October 2nd. And of course, we will get to the Big E, Awesome Person of the Week. Also, new food items and renovations at Bridgestone. Lots of exciting things, but there's nothing more exciting than a new baby. And sound the baby alarm. Max, you and I have just learned at Predators practice we have a new member of the Preds family.
And I am sitting right now in the birthday room at Centennial Sportsplex as we record this episode. So it's the perfect place to let the world know that 2 Preds have welcomed babies into the world this week. First up, Michael Bunting at the end of last week before he went and played in the preseason game on Saturday. And we just found out, Brooks, today on Thursday, as you said, as we record this, October 2nd, that Michael McCarron's second child, both born basically within the last year, a little bit more than a year, his second child and first son, Jetson McCarron, was born on Wednesday night, and he was right back at practice about 15 hours later because he said there was no chance he was staying cooped up in the hospital. He needed to be back with the boys. So great hockey guy, great hockey name, Jetson McCarron, Kara, come on.
I know. And let's just clarify, you're not in the birthing room, you're in the birthday room. So this is where we can...
Birthday room. I'm not in the maternity ward at the practice facility. Yeah.
I love this. I feel like we're already just going to have to start calling him Jet McCarron. Like he just jets around out there. Just add him to the list. Exciting news in Smashville. And guys, one thing that has stuck out to me, we're 1 week away from the season opener here in Smashville, but Bruno has said it more than once. Effort. He likes the effort. He's seen how positive is that, Brooks. 1 week out, and the guys are ready to go.
You can feel it, Kara. Like it's a different feel at camp, and they had really good pace today again on Thursday. And we've talked about it before. Of course, there's reason for optimism right now, but yeah, it just feels different. Guys are more settled in. It's a good group, and they've really liked a lot of what they've seen. Even in the preseason games recently, the Predators haven't won the recent preseason games. But again, it's an exhibition contest. You don't have all your NHL players. You don't have your full lineup in there. Those games, yeah, you want to win, but those games are more about what are our systems looking like? How are the processes going? How are we evaluating different guys? There's been a lot to like in that regard. And for the Predators, it's just a matter now of you've got one preseason game left. As we record this, we're a week away from opening night, which is crazy. And the roster is down to 28 players. That includes the waiver claim of forward Tyson Jost on Wednesday and the assignment of Reed Schaefer to Milwaukee. And some big cuts. They first came on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So we expected that after the back-to-back preseason games on Saturday and Sunday in Tampa and Carolina. But a big cut on Monday. Some more guys go down on Tuesday, the ones that had to clear waivers. So those were Jake Lucchini, Nav Mutter, Kevin Gravel, Jordan Osterley, and goaltender Matt Murray. So a lot of guys back down in Milwaukee as they continue their training camp. But Max and Kara, a lot of the names that we've talked about, the young guys who are pushing for those roster spots, Brady Martin, Matthew Wood, Joachim Kemmel, Tanner Molendyk. If you even want to throw guys like Ozzy Weisblatt, Zach LaRue into the mix, they're all still here. And that's a really good sign, not only for the future of this organization, but the present right now, the fact that all those guys are really pushing for spots.
And Max, we know that Matthew Wood is out right now, week to week. And I feel like with that news, it seems more and more like we may be seeing Brady Martin and these guys come Thursday night, especially no Luke Evangelista. We are still kind of at a deadlock on the contract situation. So some of these guys that maybe over the summer you weren't really expecting them to be here, they're still around.
Yeah, and they're getting every opportunity to prove it. Joachim Kemmel has been on the second line with Steven Stamkos and Fedor Svechkov. That line's been together the last 2 days of practice since they've gotten down to the NHL group and the last guys fighting for spots alongside them. And Brady Martin's been on the top line. He's been playing center, and Ryan O'Reilly's been playing some wing with Philip Forsberg. So there's a chance that Brady Martin sticks around at 18 and a half years old to make his NHL debut as the 5th overall pick this year. And it seems like we've got a battle on the fourth line, too. Ozzy Weisblatt versus Zach LaRue to try and get that last spot on the wing of the fourth line with Michael McCarron and Cole Smith. And at Thursday's practice, for the first time, Weisblatt got the first rep on the fourth line ahead of LaRue. And LaRue can go back to Milwaukee without waivers. Weisblatt would require waivers. All of that goes into decision. And I'll leave it at this for the forwards. There's a chance that Matt Wood is back and healthy by opening night. And if he is, he's done enough to make this team, as everybody's seen.
Well, that's exactly what Bruno said, right? Sorry, Brooks. That the guys that are here, they deserve to be here. And you've seen that firsthand.
100%. Yeah, we asked Andrew Brunette on Wednesday, those guys pushing for spots, how impressed have you been? He said they've all had really good camps. They've shown really well, and it's fun to watch. They're hungry to get better. And they deserve the right to be here right now. They all have a really good chance of making the hockey team. And it's a good problem to have. I think as a coaching staff and a management staff, you want to have tough decisions in training camp. It's not as if the Predators had 10 roster spots open. We knew a number of the guys who were going to be on the opening night roster. There's no reason to believe that they won't be. But yeah, those young players who you hoped would be pushing for spots, they're doing that. And you want those tough decisions. You don't want everything solidified on day one. You want guys to make you question, is, X player ready to go? Is Y player ready? Do we need to move some things around, bump some guys down? Those are really good problems to have. And Max, you mentioned Brady Martin playing with Ryan O'Reilly and Philip Forsberg. If I may, a shameless plug for my story on Preds.com about kind of that element of the young guy and Martin playing with a couple of veterans and O'Reilly and Forsberg. I love what Ryan O'Reilly said on Wednesday. He said it's hilarious when you look across the room and see guys that are half your age. It does make you feel old, Ryan O'Reilly said. But he said, I love it. It takes him back to his first training camp. He said, like, every day when you're that young, it feels like Christmas. You're walking into the room and you kind of can't believe you're there. And Brady Martin said that as much. And I love the quote from O'Reilly on Brady O'Martin. There's a new name for you. If that's the line that sticks together, Brady O'Martin, there you go. But I love what O'Reilly said. I'm going to quote him here. He said, it's cool to see these guys, and especially guys like Brady, just kind of being here and being around it. I don't think I've seen him not smile the entire time he's been here. It's very infectious, and it's fun to be around. That makes a big difference.
I know you're talking about the offensive players right now, but can we go to our very own defensive Ted Lasso, Nick Blankenberg? Brooks, he gave you a quote saying that every day he is grateful that he gets to play in the NHL, be at a training camp. But my favorite line of this week had to say, just do your best, forget the rest. And that's kind of trickling through, Max, and it's not just on the blue line with Nick Blankenberg, it's all the guys.
Yeah, I think everybody's had like a real simple mentality in that regard in this training camp. I don't think anything's been overthought. I think when they've had their low moments or when the team hasn't had it, Andrew Brunette has stopped the drill, called him out, and it's gotten better. So there's coaching going on. There's coaching being taken. They're installing new parts of the system. They were working on defensive zone coverage today. And Brooks, we saw it. Like, the defense was winning. Like, things are happening here. There are changes being made. I don't think there's much that the Preds want to keep from last year into this year. And we're seeing it day by day now that we're just down to the NHL group.
Well, and we can't discount the addition of Luke Richardson, a new assistant coach for the Predators, formerly the head coach in Chicago. The guy's only got 1,400 games of NHL experience. It's not as if he can't teach these guys a few things. So I think having him has really added a different element. And like we've talked about, it's just kind of that fresh renewal. I think we all experience it, whether you're starting a new year of school, you're coming back from vacation, or after a holiday, right? You get that sense of renewal, that fresh sense of like, all right, we're back, let's go, let's get to work. That's really been prevalent here for the Predators. And Max, you've mentioned a lot about what we've seen on the forward lines and on the defensive pairs. Roman Josi, he was paired with Nic Hague. Of course, Hague unfortunately injured right now with an upper body injury, but Adam Wilsby has slid up there quite nicely. Brady Shea and Nick Perbix have been together since day one of camp. And then Justin Barron has seen some different guys with Spencer Stastny was there on Thursday, Tanner Molendyk and Nick Blankenberg there as well on the back end. So again, some tough decisions that are going to come up in these next few days for the Predators. I think anybody who is here in camp right now could play on opening night. I don't think there's a single person here right now who you look at them and say, they're probably not quite ready. Maybe some more so than others, especially some of the younger guys. You're not going to throw somebody into a situation if they're not ready to handle it. But there's a lot of guys that are ready for opening night and could find themselves on this opening night roster.
I know Bruno talked a lot about adding size to that blue line. It was one of the topics over the summer. But putting Andreas Englund on waivers, it seems like they're going a little bit in a different direction. But I think that's credited to how well Molendyk is playing or Spencer Stastny. These guys are really starting to prove themselves.
Yeah, what would be the third pair, I believe, if the Preds had a regular season game tonight, has been Justin Barron and Spencer Stastny. And that's where Englund likely would have been. Once the Preds got Nic Hague, maybe they thought we wouldn't have Andreas Englund on the opening night roster. But then Nic Hague got hurt, and completely to your point, Kara, which is a great point, they still have sent Englund to waivers and hopefully through to Milwaukee. So it's Stastny, it's Barron, it's Wilsby taking that top spot on the top pair and consistently looking like the most athletic guy on the ice at Preds training camp throughout the preseason that is pushing them in that direction on the back end. And I think every pair has shown great promise in both preseason games and in practices.
100%. And also, I think it's worth mentioning the waiver wire pickup of Tyson Jost, a first-round pick back in his day. He's an NHL veteran. He's been around. He knows what to expect. He was having a good training camp with the Carolina Hurricanes. The Preds just saw him the other night in Carolina, and now he is here in Nashville. But he's a guy that can play every forward position. That was something Andrew Brunette mentioned on Thursday when we talked to him. And they like that versatility. You just never know. You mentioned Nic Hague getting hurt. Injuries are a part of the game. You hope that nothing happens, but it never hurts to have another player who is capable of stepping into any role that you might need them in. And I think, too, we've seen this in the past with young players, and I think it's especially important to remember here when you've got a number of young guys trying to make the roster. When you've got those tough decisions, it's better to have a top prospect playing top minutes in Milwaukee and essentially playing a star role as opposed to having them on the fourth line. So if it does come down to something like that, that's why you get a player like Tyson Jost, because you'd rather have somebody who's been around the league, who knows what to expect, can fill any role. You'd rather have them be able to slot in on a third line, on a fourth line, as opposed to a young prospect who would be better off continuing to develop in Milwaukee. So we don't know what the opening night roster is going to be, but if you're looking for a reason as to why Tyson Jost arrives on the scene in Nashville, I think that's a perfect example of where he could play a role here if he does end up making the opening night roster.
We saw Tyson Jost on the ice today wearing number 17. But Brooks, you just touched on it. Having these veterans and working with some of these younger guys, and this is going to stand out to Filip Forsberg, because Bruno made a comment that he has the patience for these young guys. How have you seen the veterans really take on this responsibility? You talked about Factor and, how much he's enjoying seeing the smiles in the locker room, but I feel like it's really kind of been a collective effort, and the veterans have taken on a bigger role.
Well, time flies, right? It wasn't all that long ago that Filip Forsberg was the guy who was being mentored here in Nashville, and now he's stepped into that role. We've talked about how Brady Martin lived with him for a few days earlier in the summer when Brady was here getting settled into Nashville. And guys like Filip Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, when you're at this point in your career, you're relied upon to do that. Same thing on the back end. Guys like Roman Josi, Brady Shea, with Adam Wilsby, Tanner Molendyk, those guys need mentors. And it's been so cool to see that dynamic of guys that, again, Ryan O'Reilly laughs and says it makes him feel old, but I think they love having that role. And the young guys, the excitement to be here every day, the energy, the passion, it really elevates everybody in the room. So I think everybody has really benefited from the collection of guys that have been in this locker room throughout training camp. And Max, we continue to see that firsthand as camp goes along here. These guys that are just happy to be here and soaking it all in. And guys like O'Reilly and Forsberg have plenty to give, and they're more than willing to do it for guys like Martin to be a sponge.
Yeah, it goes both ways. And the young guys bring the veterans up. And look, there were times in the locker room last year when media goes in there in the morning and it's the end of the season and there's nothing on the line the way that Preds season went. And there was not a lot of, oh, let's go get it. And there's a lot of, oh, let's go get it in the Preds locker room. And a lot of it specifically comes from Brady Martin. So it's been fun to breathe in. And we hope to see you in Smashville this Saturday, October 4th. When some of you listen to this, that will be tomorrow. If you're listening on Friday, it's the final preseason game at 3:00 against the Hurricanes in Smashville. But before that, it is Preds Fest presented by Ticketmaster from 11 to 2 across the street from the arena at Walk of Fame Park at the corner of 5th and Demumbria near the Country Music Hall of Fame. The event is free. Big Preds Fan Fest. We want you to be a part of it. All you have to do is claim your free ticket by going to predsfest.com, predsfest.com. You just have to put your name in and your ticket comes up right away and we can welcome you into Preds Fest. You get a chance to meet and hear from some players. There's going to be live music, kids games, lots of Preds activities. Preds alumni will be signing autographs, including Ryan Ellis, who is back in Smashville. So you get to get an autograph from Ryan Ellis, get an autograph from a ginger. Brooks rubs his beard. You could also get Brooks's autograph, and there will be no line for that one. I'm very that one. If you're a member of Nash's Kids Club, you can get a picture with Nash from 1 to 1:30 towards the end of the day. And there is also a hot chicken eating contest. So come hungry and bring a large vase of milk if you plan on participating in that.
Vase, so fancy.
Yeah.
A vase of milk. That'll be a lot of fun. You know what else is a lot of fun? Talking to Jonathan Marchessault. We'll do that next here on the Preds Official Podcast on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the YouTube.
Hey, it's John Marchessault here. I'm going to ask Hager here 41 rapid fire question. First one. What is your hockey nickname?
Hager.
Where did you grow up?
Kitchener, Ontario.
Do you have any pets?
2 dogs.
What's their name?
Marlowe and Maple.
Favorite hockey memory?
Winning the Stanley Cup.
What are your hobbies outside of hockey?
Golf.
Guilty pleasure food?
Popcorn.
Did you give your car a name?
Car?
Your car.
No.
That would have been tough. Favorite musician or band?
Morgan Wallen.
One thing you couldn't live without?
Family.
Favorite movie or TV show?
Friends.
Who is your role model?
Nick Lidstrom.
What celebrity would you get Starbucks over?
What?
What celebrity would you get Starstruck Starbucks? Classic mix-up. Starstruck over.
Morgan Wallen.
What would you want to do as a job if you weren't a hockey player?
Golfer.
Do you have a hidden talent?
No.
Do you believe in aliens?
No.
Give us one word to describe yourself.
Goofy.
What is your most prized possession?
Cup ring.
What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
What's a fact about you that I don't know?
My middle name's Dyson.
Who should play yourself in a movie?
Oh, Jason Sudeikis?
Have you ever been line dancing?
No.
If you could only eat one condiment for the rest of your life, what condiment would it be?
Hot sauce.
What's your favorite concert that you've ever attended?
Post Malone.
Who is your favorite country artist?
Morgan Wallen.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
Travel to Europe.
Are you a morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
What's your favorite type of movie?
Comedy.
Cooking or takeout?
Takeout.
If you could teach a class on one thing, what would it be?
Math.
Nice. Nashville hot sauce or barbecue sauce?
Hot sauce.
Tattoos, yes or no?
1.
Strangest food in your fridge?
Our fridge is pretty empty right now. We just moved in.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Flying.
Would you time travel to the past or to the future?
Past.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite road city?
New York.
How often do you call your parents?
Once a week.
What would be your go-to song, karaoke song?
Don't Stop Believing.
What's the last movie you watched?
We're the Millers.
What would be your favorite Europe city to visit?
Stockholm.
Welcome back to the Predators official podcast. The star of Preds social media this week, second-year Pred, Jonathan Marchessault is with us. John, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First question, the one everyone wants to know. What celebrity would you get Starbuck over?
Well, that was a tough one. That was a problem with me at school. I wouldn't read the questions properly, so I never would answer the proper answer. So I tend to talk a little too fast sometimes.
And we love you for it. Don't worry.
You know, John, coming in, I feel like this summer, you just seem a little bit more relaxed. You talked so much at the end of last season about how difficult the summer was going into it, you know, just the trials and tribulations of the move and the new season. How has this summer really been different for you?
Really a smooth transition. Just coming home, you know, we have our house, everything's in order, everything's great. We know the schools that the kids are going to go, their activities and their sports, where they're going to go. So it was honestly really smooth and definitely a little bit more relaxed and sleeping a little better at night. So, I mean, everything is definitely in order right now.
Did you get a little bit more downtime? Any vacations?
Yeah, actually I traveled a little bit this summer, so that was really nice. But that's the positive things of having a longer summer is you can start working out earlier, and you can also take some vacation in the middle of the summer compared to like when you have shorter summers. Sometimes you don't take time for yourself and you just get right back into it. So this year I definitely took time for me and my wife and my family as well to travel, and it was definitely a fun summer and a little bit more relaxed summer.
John, you touched on it, but compared to this time last year, how much more settled off the ice, on the ice do you feel, and how much of a difference has that made here as camp has gone along? Just knowing the surroundings, knowing how to get to the rink, all of that.
Yeah, it's huge, and not just that. Like knowing your coaches, knowing the organization, the staff, knowing the players, how they play, and how everybody is. Like when you come into a new organization, everything's so new. You don't know nothing. So it's definitely better to come in a second year and knowing everything. And no, I'm definitely really lucky to come in that situation this year, and it's been definitely a better transition for me. But like no one tells you this when you change organization. Like you just, some people takes a certain amount of time. Everybody's different, and I guess last year I think everybody did a great job to make you feel welcome and part of the family. But obviously the result was not there for our organization. And but this year which is great in hockey, is there's always a team that struggled the year before and they come back and they just have a better groove and they just do better. And some teams, you know, sometimes have high expectation and they become disappointed at the end of the year. So every year it changes. And for us this year, I think it suits us super well. We just have a different mentality of like we want to be good and surprise the NHL, and I think that's going to be our mindset this year.
Predators winger Jonathan Marchessault is our guest here on the Predators official podcast. John, last year, as you were starting that transition on the ice, you also had to leave the team for a bit after your mom sadly passed away, and you've been open that was a tough start to the season, tough start to your time with the Preds. How are you remembering her along with your family a year later now, and what was that like personally during what was already a time of tough transition for you in a lot of ways?
Yeah, it was really tough, to be honest, because it was right in the middle. Like, obviously, you're never ready to lose somebody close like that. But I mean, you just adapt and you try to do your best. And I didn't like the fact that it was like you never can control that, obviously. But it was the middle of camp, so like I'm supposed to like be playing, be practicing, and going back and forth with the whole family. That was tiring, like for everybody. And it was definitely a tough stretch last year at that time of the year. And but I mean, we made it through, and I mean, this year it's been a little different. A lot of sadder time. My godfather passed away at the end of the year, like in May, so that was a little tough for us. And for me and my wife and my kids, we 2 weeks ago we had our dog passed away, so that was like probably one of the saddest days I've been in my life. Like it was so sad to see the kids actually have like deep pain in themselves, and it was like really an experience that I wish I'd never go through again, to see everybody being so sad. So obviously that's just part of life, and we move on and we continue, and it's a lot better at the house. And it was a tough stretch there, but I mean, everything is just smooth at the house right now, and you gotta give credit to my wife. She's the captain of the ship, and she makes sure that everything goes smoothly. And I mean, without her, I wouldn't be as stable as I am right now, for sure.
Well, condolences on those, John. That's never easy to hear, but you've mentioned it, I believe, and we've heard Nic Hague, your former teammate in Vegas, talk about it as well. The year out there, you guys missed the playoffs in Vegas. You come back the next year, kind of angry, for a lack of a better term, that things didn't go your way. You end up winning the Stanley Cup that next year. Maybe a little bit of a similarity here, but that hunger to win, as you've kind of mentioned, when things don't go well, how much does that drive you now to coming into this season?
Yeah, it was like the year that we didn't make the playoff. It was like a similar year of us last year. I was like, everybody said like you guys are going to be one of the top teams in the league, and we finally like didn't make the playoffs. So that, obviously everybody was pretty pissed, but I mean, good for the organization, like Vegas and here this year. Like they say, okay, it didn't go well. What can we do to become better, and do the changes in the summer to try to become a better team. And after, no one at that time, no one said that we were one of the forces of the league, and we just kept playing. And it's okay to not have like always a bullseye on our back and saying that you're always one of the best and stuff like that. It gets you in a comfort zone that you don't necessarily want to be. It fuels us for energy, and I think we believe that we can beat anyone in that league, and it's just us to get in the groove early and get some mojo going.
Being reunited with Nic Hague, what's it like now, having your former teammate back in the building?
Yeah, it's great. And like obviously when you win a Stanley Cup with everybody on that team, you're like, you have a special bond with them. So obviously that's always special. But me and Hager were already pretty close. Like we drove together to the airport every single time we'd go on the road. So we're already good friends, and he lived in my neighborhood. So he came along with the years. So I was pretty close to him, and obviously I was one of the guys to call in, like to say, hey, it's a great spot, you'll love it here, and stuff like that. So he was definitely feeling reassured, because it's definitely, I know how he feels. It's definitely hard to leave a good situation in a great spot, a place that you win and you were successful for a lot of years. So it was definitely probably hard for him to because you you build so many friendship in the past years, and now just like that, you just don't see them every day of your every day of your day-to-day guys that you see, you know. So it's definitely a transition, and it's his first time going through this, so definitely gonna try to help him along the time. But I mean, it's so natural, me and him, to hang out together, and he's a great dude, and he's a force out there, and I'm definitely disappointed for him to be injured right now. But I mean, he's going to be ready soon, and I'm excited to have him on my side for sure.
Preds fans have seen him play 3-4 times a year the last 6 years now, and he's a memorable player. He's a big presence on the back end, but you've seen him play almost every NHL game he's ever played. So once we do get to see Nic Hague back in there, hopefully by the end of October, early November, what should Preds fans expect from him?
He takes so much room on the ice. It's honestly annoying to play against guys like that because they're just so long and it takes so much room. So I think that's something that definitely is it's a great quality to have, to be known to be hard to play against. And Nic is someone that's hard to play against. He's good defensively. He makes good plays with the puck. He's not the kind of guy that's going to be electric like a Roman Josi, but he does his role perfectly, and you know what to get from him every single night. And I think in hockey, to be able to have consistency and know what to get from certain guys every night, that's probably one of the best quality you can have. So we're lucky to have him, and I mean, obviously he plays a physical game. Like he's mean in front of the net, he's mean in the corner, and he's tough too. Like he can drop the glove when he needs to get done. But I mean, he definitely brings a lot of security for our team and a lot of stability back there as well.
So, Marshy, another couple of guys that you're really becoming familiar with. You've been together on Alliance since day one of camp, Erik Halle and Michael Bunting. What do you like about your trio? What's it been like skating with those two?
What I like about them is they're veteran guys in the league, and I think that's something that, like, I don't know if like you kind of saw, like sometimes playing with veteran guys, they're not necessarily look like, let's say, the fastest or the most skilled players out there, but they think the game well, and I like playing with guys that think the game well. And you know, I'm not personally a guy that likes to try like the one-on-one stuff and stuff like that. So I'm definitely really happy to play with two guys that know how to play the game the right way. And I mean, Halle is so responsible both ways of the ice, and definitely a lot of speed up the middle. He's a pass-first mentality, which is fun for a guy that likes to shoot the puck like me. And I mean, Michael, I think it's his heart and his dedication to go to the net and doing all the little things, you know, the forecheck, the stuff like that. That's sometimes not everybody is always willing to do in the world of hockey, but for him, he knows what makes him successful, and he's going to keep doing those things, and that definitely creates room for a guy like me. So it's been good. You know, we've been playing the right way when we play together, and and we've been most likely out of our D zone. So I mean, if that's good, normally the offense can. If you take good care of your defense side, the offense can come a little easier.
I feel like you guys are like almost all three very similar players. You have that same sort of style. Do we need to name this line? Have you guys come up with anything yet of what you're calling yourself?
No, I've not thought about it. I mean, obviously we're playing together, and sometimes it's a long year, so I just don't want to put pressure on the coach to like say, hey, like, oh, this line's name is this, and we got to keep it together. No, I mean, it's just three guys that want to work hard and are dedicated to get their team to the other level. And I mean, it's kind of nice to play with guys like that for sure.
Well, John, we've also got Preds babies are sprouting. We know Michael McCarron just had a baby. Michael Bunting, your line mate. Brady Shea coming up soon. Are you and Ryan O'Reilly comfortable with your clubhouse lead? Are you looking over your shoulder at all? There's a lot of little ones running around now.
Yeah, I mean, 4 is quite a number, so if they want to go to 4, good for them. But they can come spend a day at my house and see how it is, and maybe they'll see. No, but I wouldn't take. I mean, it's the best. Like me and my wife, like we talk about it a lot, obviously, and we're like always making scheduling, and we're like, oh, it's a lot, huh? And she's like, yeah, but I love it. You know, it's the best to just like pursue their dream and their activities and being there with them and make them just make sure they're ready for life. You know, whenever they get old and they can spread their wings. So it's definitely it's the best. And I remember those age of baby age, and they're great days too. But I mean, when you're past it, I don't know. Personally, as a parent, right now I wouldn't go back to it. So I'm definitely happy of having 4 kids, and they're pretty tight to each other, and great chemistry in our house, and we're definitely lucky and blessed.
Hey, he's got chemistry with his line mates. He's got chemistry in the house too. Jonathan Marchessault, thanks so much for joining us. Looking forward to year 2 for you in Smashville. When we come back, we'll tell you about the new food options and also the new player facilities at Bridgestone Arena on the Predators official podcast.
Welcome back to the Predators official podcast. I'm Kara Hammer along with Brooks Bratten and Max Herz. And guys, a lot of upgrades happening at Bridgestone Arena. I've seen a sauna, I've seen an infrared light, and I'm just wondering, how do I get one of those in Studio H for the season? Brooks and Max, you guys were both there. Take us through some of the changes we're seeing downstairs.
Yeah, it's been a $5 million investment just over the summer at Bridgestone Arena, and it enhances a ton of the player facilities that they use on both game days and practice days. The locker room itself has not changed. Every single other piece of the team area around the locker room has changed at Bridgestone Arena. Every area has gotten bigger, and every single area has gotten new amenities as well. So it starts with the Players Lounge. The players have always had a Players Lounge, but the Players Lounge has moved and been greatly increased in size, and it includes a 136-inch TV screen, which is absolutely massive and can also be split into a quad box for different things at different times. That room includes tons of comfy chairs, a lot of space. It also includes a full-service kitchen where the team chef will be cooking when the team is home and playing home games, as many as 3 meals a day for the Preds to have. And then you have the treatment and recovery areas. The team already had a hot and cold tub. Those areas now have a much larger space. You got them right next to each other. They are bigger than what you would picture even a normal hot tub would be. They're quite large. One of them is 50 degrees and one of them is 104 degrees. So different guys like different temperatures at different times in game day, different times of recovery. Ryan O'Reilly goes in the tub every single intermission and then gets dressed all over again. So everybody's got their different uses for these things. And the biggest thing, Brooks, is these guys just have more options now in their recovery day. And it's all in one facility at the arena. And the athletic trainers room is significantly larger as well and moved across the hallway, which opened up space for these areas to get larger and also gives the guys and the athletic training staff significantly more space for the medical care that goes on 24/7, September through June in the hockey season.
Absolutely. It's the setup looks amazing. The equipment is really great. And we've heard a number of people from the Predators organization, like the business side, the front office, the ones who make these decisions. Max, as you mentioned, part of the renovations, the $750 million worth of renovations, they've already begun in this sense. But we've heard people say that, just because last season didn't go the way that everybody expected on the ice, that doesn't mean that you don't make improvements. It doesn't mean that you stop getting new facilities, new equipment, those sorts of things. So this is simply a way to give the team the very best. These are hockey players playing in the best league in the world. They deserve to have the best facilities, the best equipment, and every little detail, no matter how minuscule in a setting like this, it matters. It makes a big difference in the grand scheme of things. So really cool. It was tempting to jump into the hot and the cold tubs, but we'll leave those for the real athletes. I don't know. Maybe we'll sneak down there during the next off season or something. I don't know.
Well, the team also has a hyperbaric chamber, which I am not good at describing what it is, but I think a lot of sports fans have heard about this. And it's right along the ground. It's a long, thin cylinder, and you just lay in it flat, and you get in, and you zip it up, and you go in there. And I have now been lucky enough to tour this whole player facility twice. First with the Predators' entire staff, the office staff, who was getting to see it for the first time. And then again this week with other media members. And both times when we have walked into the recovery room, I've tried to prank people and say, hey guys, keep it down. There's a player in there right now, because you can't see into it when it's closed. And I've had mixed results.
Who do you think would be in there at 6 o'clock on a Monday evening when nobody else is there?
Ryan O'Reilly.
That's a good guess.
Would probably be the most likely one. One more thing about the renovations that I did not mention that doesn't sound important, but it is important. The team's bathroom and shower area off of the locker room is also significantly larger and includes 2 saunas, one steam sauna and one Finnish sauna. And you know which players are going to be in there. The goalies will be in there, aplenty. The shower area is much larger, and lots of sinks, lots of showers, lots of bathrooms. It's really big.
It's really impressive. And again, I think this just adds to it. You might look at it and say, well, who cares how big the bathroom is? Like it makes a difference in that sense. And one day we've heard talk that potentially this area could be part one day of the visiting team locker room area, depending on how they finagle things down on the event level when they completely redo the home team area and really make it state of the art. But again, I think, we've seen videos of the Florida Panthers facility. We know the success that they've had in South Florida. Stuff like that plays into all of this. So really great additions down there on the event level for the Predators players. And Max, we got a chance to see a couple of elements from the new game presentation as well, installing cryo jets in the end zones of the arena. That's exciting. A new setup for Crazy Kyle, a new DJ booth. There's lots to come for the fans when the team is not on the ice or when there's a break in the action. You're going to be about just as entertained off the ice as you will compared to what's going on the ice.
Yeah, so I did not know what a cryojet was by name, but I've seen them in other arenas. It is the things where they shoot smoke out from the top of the boards. So we're expecting those to go off when the Preds take the ice and when the Preds score. I will not be the one running those, so I'm not sure exactly when they're going to go off, but get excited for those. And the scoreboard is always a great time. We got everybody up there going crazy. Those of you who were at the preseason game last week saw the players playing a game called Shakespeare or Country Music, where they received a line that was from either a country song or Shakespeare iambic pentameter and had to guess. And it was absolutely ridiculous. And there will be more installments of that, we are told. And yeah, there's always great stuff going on. But Crazy Kyle's got a new organ setup. DJ Battle's got a new DJ setup and will be our DJ for every game this season, as he well deserves to be. So shout out to DJ Battle. And the band stage is going to get some renovations. And I never get to see the band stage anymore because I'm always on the radio hosting the intermission show. So I sadly have not seen a band stage show in 4 seasons. But it's still my favorite, and I miss being able to see it.
It'll look a lot better. And so lots to look forward to when you get to your seat, but before you even make it to your section, and this is what I was most excited about on Monday, the annual opportunity to taste all the new food items that Delaware North, the Bridgestone Arena chefs are cooking up and spreading out to all the concession stands for all the fans to try. So one thing that really stood out, there's going to be a gelato stand outside of section 101. You can get gelato into a Preds goalie mask, a gelato float. Who doesn't want to feel like they're in Italy with a little gelato? Love that. And the grilled cheese station, which a lot of folks are familiar with, again, also right inside the main entrance. A lot of grinders, some new grinder sandwiches, which were excellent. And then at the Puckett's barbecue stands, a stuffed baked potato. That's a fun thing to have at a hockey game. Barbecue pork nachos, a barbecue pork burrito as well. And then one of the highlights, Max, I don't know if you saw this, but at section 102, the burger stand, the new Broadway glazed honey stack. It's a honey bun bottom with burger, cheddar, bacon, barbecue sauce, and a donut top. So if you're looking for your sweet and your savory all in one bite for dinner, that's the place to go.
I don't know how you make that sound so fancy, Brooks, because to me, it's just donut burger. That's all you need to say.
Donut burger. 102 donut burger. That's all you need to know. And honestly, I think this might be the coolest thing I think that the Preds have introduced as far as the concessions are concerned. Upstairs, section 317, the Smashville State Fair stand. Fried pickles, jalapeno poppers, mini apple pies, chili cheese fries, a lot of really good bites. Sometimes you just want something fried that you can pick up with your hands when you're watching a hockey game. Section 317, the Smashville State Fair stand, is the place to do that. There's other new concession items around the arena: a raspberry cheesecake chimichanga, a bologna and cheese sandwich, a pork tenderloin sandwich. And then, Max, before you even get in, the BetMGM Sports Lounge, the restaurant on the Fifth Avenue side of Bridgestone Arena, which is always available. You don't have to be going to a game. You can go for lunch or dinner. That's an exciting element. And they've got a ton of new items there as well. They were all really great. A Cuban sandwich, a turkey burger. I love fried green tomatoes. You can get those there as well. So when you come to Bridgestone Arena this season for a Preds game or a concert, come hungry. Your taste buds will thank you.
All right, we're putting Kara Hammer on the spot here. Hammer, you look hungry right now. Smashville State Fair has 3 different types of loaded fries: chili cheese fries, carne asada fries, and cheeseburger fries. What are you going for?
I don't know. I'm still caught up on the Brooks bites. I feel like Brooks just went down that, knew everything off the top of his head. I am like absolutely amazed sitting here. But I think I have to go with the OG chili cheese fries. I mean, that just seems like a state fair staple. But Brooks bites.
Love it.
So, I'm gonna think about this.
Check out the reel on Instagram at Brooks Bites. You can see all the food live
we're
and
out
in living
of time
color.
for this segment. Such a shame. All right, be back with the biggie of the week after this on the POP. Welcome back to the Predators official podcast, 3rd episode of the season. We are a week away from the regular season, people. My name is Max Herz from Preds Radio, with my co-host Kara Hammer from Preds TV, Brooks Bratten from Preds.com. The whole crew is here. You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen on your favorite podcast platform and on the radio home of Preds Hockey, 102.5 The Game. So make sure to subscribe to the Predators official podcast on your favorite podcast platform. This is our 3rd weekly award honoring Erin Donick, wife of Willie Donick, who we sadly lost this summer to lung cancer. Erin was the most positive person in the world and had so many amazing Erinisms that we love. And every week on the POP, we are giving out an award in her honor called the Big E for Erin Donick. The first 2 winners. The first winner was Philip Forsberg and his wife, also named Erin, for making a large donation in conjunction with the Preds Foundation in Erin's memory to STARS, the foundation that helps those recovering from drug addiction that Erin worked for and was a major passion in her life. So that was our first winner. Last week, Preds defenseman Spencer Stastny won for opening up about his battle with depression and anxiety over the summer and returning to the Preds this year for training camp and being a whole new man and a whole new hockey player. And I will turn it over to Kara to reveal the 3rd weekly winners of the Big E.
All right, this week, our Big E winner of the week. Why are you so awesome? Weisblatt brothers. We're giving this one out to Ozzy and Oasis, who have clearly shined and maybe given a few shiners during training camp. Brooks, take us through what you saw on the ice with Oasis.
Man, I mean, 2 wise. Go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, Oasis has been going at it since the rookie tournament in Tampa. The video of him in the shootout giving it to the Carolina bench kind of went viral a few weeks ago that I had, and then Max, we're going to play it in just a minute. But Ozzy and Oasis making impacts on the ice, and Clarksville as well. The bonus shootout after the Gold Star scrimmage, the only 2 skaters to score in the shootout, Ozzy and Oasis, and then over the weekend in Tampa and Carolina, they both found ways to make impacts.
Yeah, both returning from a tragic family moment. The Weisblatt family got so much love in the hockey world. First when Ozzy was drafted, last year when Ozzy made his NHL debut. 5 siblings. Both of their parents are deaf. and they've overcome a ton to be high-level hockey players. And one of the 5 Weisblatt siblings, Orca, their older brother, the second oldest of the 5 Weisblatt siblings, died tragically in a car crash a couple of weeks ago back home in British Columbia, Canada. Both brothers left Preds training camp, were there for about a week and a half back with their family, and they returned from a tragic moment, and both showed well in their first games of the preseason. First up, Ozzy gets on the board. Big moment.
You know that
Big
it's
Kelly. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you know that it's a big moment when Bruno is asked about the Weisblatt brothers, especially Oasis, and he gets a smile on his face when he's talking about it. I mean, when your coach is smiling, talking about you, you know that's a good sign.
Yeah, it was a nice goal too, Brooks, regardless of the moment, but a big moment to score in his first game back after his brother's death, a big celebration, which you would never see from Ozzy in a preseason game outside of that extenuating circumstance. Pretty goal too.
It definitely meant a little bit more. It was really great to see him get that. And then in Carolina on Sunday, Oasis made his impact as well. I loved the comment post-game from Andrew Burnett too. I couldn't help but ask, because it really got the bench going. His scrap with Kevin LeBanc in Carolina, Oasis had. And Bruno just kind of said, yeah, that Oasis, he's a fun player to watch.
As heard on Preds Radio, Hal Gill and I had some fun with that one. The gloves coming off in the preseason. Kevin LeBanc was ready for that fight to be done about 30 seconds before it ended. And I think Oasis Weisblatt would probably still be swinging here 4 days later if they'd let him.
No doubt. So congrats to the Weisblatt brothers on being awarded our Biggie Awesome Person of the Week. Again, Oasis is back in Milwaukee. He'll certainly make an impact there. Ozzy's still here in Nashville, pushing to make the opening night roster. He's had a great camp. Again, of course, after coming back from an absence there. So really good to see Ozzy doing what he's doing here in Nashville, and obviously sending nothing but the best to Ozzy, Oasis, and the entire Weisblatt family.
Yeah, and we are overjoyed to have 2 of those brothers in the Preds organization. And I think their teammates are very overjoyed to have them too. They're good guys to have on your line. That's all the time we got for episode 3. We will be back for opening week next week. The first game of the season is Thursday night, October 9th at Bridgestone Arena against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We'll get you ready for that and so much more on the POP next week. For now, thanks so much for listening. My name is Max Herz. You can follow me on Twitter at Max Herz Talks and hear me on Preds Radio. Kara?
I'm Kara Hammer. You can find me on X and follow along all season on FanDuel Sports Network. We'll be bringing you all the coverage.
And I'm Brooks Bratten. You can follow me at Brooks Bratten on X and read my work at NashvillePredators.com. And we can't wait to see all of you back at Bridgestone Arena soon.